Still live.
Yeah, we're still live.
Yeah.
That went on the stream.
What's out there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there. That's
yeah, I think this was situations where
we could be using this time to interview Kyle about the game and stuff. If he's still around.
We should.
That's true.
Kyle, are you still around? Exclusive from him.
As soon as he's
I am still around. I was giving out some redeem codes on the IRC channel to see who has the fastest copy and paste.
Oh, not iPad.
I saw there
who's copy and paste world champion?
Keithstar, I think. I think Keithstar had copy and paste like 4 of them. He's insane.
Keithstar's desperate.
Good stuff.
Desperate.
Not just
maybe that was my
crystals
opponent
right
who was using that password. Oh, God. Anyway.
What do you think, Kyle? What do you think of the finals now? The Zana and the Amber. What do you think of it?
It was interesting, the matches that we just seen with the Zana and the Amber, but as you said, the Amber in the finals is much more aggressive gameplay style, so I'm a little bit worried that the Zana won't be able to heal quite as fast this time around.
I'm a little curious if you expected these specific heroes to go so far in Worlds this year.
Well, we do collect stats on all the multiplayer games played so far, and there's been something like 1.5 million in the latest version 1.5, and it's been very, very close, almost like very close to 50%. Between 45 and 55% for every hero. So the game is really, really balanced. So it wasn't surprising to see a wide variety of different heroes in the tournaments because each person really has a chance.
Oh, by the way, the game is live by now. The game's up. It just started.
Yep.
And to confirm, FlyC's deck is 1 card less than Eclipse. He has 41, Eclipse is 42.
Alright, that'll make or break this game. That'll prove everything.
1 card. One card. Yeah, so I think D&D, I think it's safe to say, D&D, that you kind of got to eat this one. The 40 card decks are out.
Nah, I really don't want to gamble on this. Well, no, like I said in the thread, it's not a very good indication because, well, first of all, because there may be 40 some odd games played in this event, but only 8 of them or 9 or whatever have been played with their given decks up until the top 4 cut.
Yeah.
And for each of these heroes, they're the only players of them. You know what I mean? It's more an example of the hero choice than the specific deck choice. There were 1 Zana, 1 Boris, and 3 Amber in the top 32, and now there was 1 Zana, 1 Boris, and 2 Amber.
Yeah, they transitioned really well. It's 1 Boris, 1 Boris in the top 4, 1 Zana in the top 4. It's wow, those 2 really flew. They took their heroes and they carried that banner.
Well, I think one thing that's also interesting worth knowing about this game, which obviously the game is live now, is that a very slow early game for Sly Chung for the Amber.
Yeah.
Which he didn't get any 1 drops or 2 drops this game, and he, unlike Jackie, he didn't go with the turn 3 Blood Frenzy.
He didn't get it, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess. So in this one, card advantage might actually for once swing Eclipse's way.
Which is very interesting. All things considered, at the end of the day, there are 5 games that will be played here. So even if Amber has sort of an off start and because of that loses out in this game, there's still 4 more to come, and it's still anybody's game.
Possibly.
Well,
it could be 3-0.
Potentially 4. Potentially 4 more.
Yeah.
Yeah, you never know though. It could Amber could lose this game, say not having a blood frenzy, and then say that shakes his psychology, and he scoops the next 2 because he's out of it. He might get tilted.
That's true as well.
Yeah.
Always got to keep in mind that you can get tilted in these games.
That was an interesting choice, not using the shadow energy here, letting the Tainted Oracle stay alive. Because if
I think it's similar to our last set. They want the focused prayer.
Yeah, well, I mean, if the Oracle died, then Eclipse would have been bombed out and wouldn't have been able to draw his card for this turn anyway. So it would have been more advantageous, I would think, here to kill the Oracle now as opposed to later when he gets the full value out of it.
And you lost his Dirk for that too, you're right.
Yeah, I absolutely agree that killing the Oracle would have probably been a better play, but again, we don't know what they have in their hands, so we don't know exactly what Slicey's long-term strategy is.
Yeah, that's true.
Because looking at this game now, we're sure we can guarantee it's not going to end in 2 turns, so they have to think a little bit longer term than that.
You guys seen how much good luck they've been given?
Yeah.
Didn't bring Blood Frenzy for Amber.
Hopefully.
It might have brought Blood Frenzy for Zana. There is a Dimension Ripper in play.
Perhaps.
Yeah, that's true.
But interesting, the Oracle. Now the question is that one of Eclipse's Oracles?
I think it was stolen.
I think it was stolen too, so that might have an impact.
That'd be interesting.
I mean, do we agree now that, it's probably the better idea to pump the Ripper this turn and take out the Alden?
Yeah.
He's thinking about it.
Really interesting play.
Going for the dome the whole time. Maybe
interesting.
He could have easily stolen a tidal wave.
Tidal wave, yeah. That's something.
possible.
Yeah.
Well, one thing we should also note, it might be possible that he didn't see any of Eclipse's other matches, so he doesn't know about Eclipse's late game strategies.
Which is odd. Well, it's a Zana.
It is, but he doesn't. It is Zana, but it's not a complete traditional Zana in the respect that he doesn't have a lot of early board control, and he is packing healing touches. So it's possible that the Amber is trying to see if he can put a lot of damage on him earlier, figuring he doesn't have healing touch, which a lot of standard Zanas don't.
What do you consider a standard Zana? Because I don't consider a standard Zana to have anything beyond a full set of retreats and Jasmines and whatever,
Yeah.
That is a standard Zana.
Exactly.
Standard Zana is just very, very normal, just very straightforward.
Yeah.
Like no Ghostmaker, no Earthen Protector, none of that, just straightforward stuff.
Yeah, the 2 or 3 Ravens, 2 or 3 Aeons, some... Maybe Priest of Light, maybe Jasmine, definitely some Alden.
We haven't seen any Priest of Lights, actually, which I think is a good choice because of how rampant Magia was in the early
4 HP allies are better for Zana right now.
Well, actually, we have seen a lot of Priest of Light in the tournament, but in these last couple of matches, we haven't seen a whole lot of them. I mean, I think Jackie had some. I think he did.
So Fly Chung has reserve weapon. Jackie didn't. Fly Chung does.
That might be a big help for Amber here. Notice how Amber keeps filling herself up with cards by using the Ripper and this Tainted Oracle and whatever instead of playing a Blood Frenzy here.
Frenzy. Yeah.
That may be personal choice because the Amber we've just seen has tried to go long with Blood Frenzy and failed very painfully.
Yeah.
Yes.
It goes to show that something that a lot of people underestimate is that in a way, you can kind of use a Ripper as a form of a draw engine.
Yeah.
Ooh, I don't know.
If Amber has a tidal wave right now,
that
would be so good if he ripped a tidal wave, because then he would just kill this stuff.
Interesting. So I mean, I don't know. If I'm you guys right here, I'm thinking that although the chance of him getting a tidal wave is pretty decent, I might play one of the cards I stole, hoping it's an ally, figuring that I'll get the card advantage because I'm going to attack and rip one of his cards and he won't get one of mine.
Notice how Zana here is playing the healing touch, and instead of avoiding a crippling blow, just to play it as opposed to running out an ally that might just die. Yeah,
the healing touch right there is a good play to save the allies and still one-sided Ripper card.
She could have stolen a Burgett here as well, which would make a... No, just passing this turn. Okay.
Created a card draw for her, so it was decent.
There's a lot of bombing going on, though, here.
Yeah, her hands are too full.
Rips are never a bad thing.
Tainted Oracles and Dimension Rippers back-to-back is like mad hand full.
Yeah.
What's it going to be, Amber?
Because their decks are about even now. They're about midway through both of them. Still no tidal wave, so you gotta think maybe Ember might have ripped one.
Well, something has Flychung thinking, so he probably got some interesting cards off Zana. Now he's thinking about how he wants to use them.
Interesting. King's Pride. Interesting.
King's Pride,
play.
okay. Is that also stolen from Zana again?
Maybe.
Maybe.
That might be exactly why he was thinking about it.
I don't know. Do you guys think he's setting up for the next turn?
Maybe a focus prayer. Maybe he wants to bait out a focus prayer, play the weapon next turn. Wisdom staff.
Well, I don't know actually. I think he's setting up for the next turn for and well, his resource now have eight of resources, so he can bomb himself. Where Tidal Wave and Jasmine and force out, Ice Flips to really, really try and turn the game.
There's a light, priest of light.
I don't think it's too relevant against an Amber, unfortunately.
Not too relevant.
Amber
I mean,
typically
the life gain is nice, though.
Amber typically has a little more than enough SE to use her ability when she wants to.
Yeah, I hear that. I would say the healing is more important for Zana in this case, but the healing is nice.
I don't know, especially pre-matches, it's always looming over everybody's head, the tidal wave.
Yeah, that's the thing. You gotta play around it. You have to spend time thinking on your turns to make the right plays, because tidal wave, they have multiple outs, they have a lot of threats. Especially a situation like this where you're trying to crack their fully established board, but the second you do crack it, you're gonna get tidal waved. Our Priest of the Light. It's a nice 5 attack Priest of the Light, too.
Kyle, the whole time, has been opening up boosters, still is, rating them for their foils, and then posting the codes in IRC to see who gets the code fast enough.
Copy this champion.
I'm getting a lot better at opening these foil packs. I don't know if you saw the video of my booster open foil.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
Alright. So basically,
Keystar is the
Keystar is the copy pasta champion.
Yeah.
He's like, I got some special binds set up to left mouse and right mouse, so...
Yeah. Interesting, going straight for the hero, going for the gusto here.
Well, both players have gone for the board, and I think are trying to both force a tidal wave out of their opponent, which is kind of interesting. Amber's trying to force out a tidal wave, Zana's trying to force out a stolen tidal wave, and Amber's trying to force it out again.
I don't know. I think Amber's behind 8 ball. I think Amber's got to.
Yeah, at this point, if Amber has one, it will be the best day for her ever. But it doesn't look like it.
Yeah. Well, again, we don't know what he's got in his hand, so he may have one.
I think maybe Amber was hoping that Aeon was hers when she played the retreat there.
Okay, now swings down the Priest of the Light. But now the board is firmly in Zana's control, so not in range. That will just buy time, that won't really get the board back.
And now Amber is fully out of hand with no blood
Amber's
frenzy.
Really in trouble now. Yeah, GG calls.
He calls it.
He has no frenzy? I must have gave you all my blood frenzy. No, I don't think so. Zana would have played it. Zana's been known to play in rage when given to her.
Amber still has 20 cards in her deck. That's enough to have a stack of blood frenzy in there.
I'll play on unless he disconnects. It's not over until it's over. But I assume he thinks it's totally over now.
it's pretty much over. He's top decking. He doesn't have board wipe.
Well,
Pretty much can't get out of this position he's in.
well, I mean, there's always that lucky situation where he could pull a Ripper and Ripper title. I mean, it's